The room was full of animals, all different kinds. Dogs and cats, bears and deers, lions and gazelles. All of them played and frolicked with one another. They smelled, rubbed, and humped each other. All but one rabbit. One white rabbit, who sat alone in a corner watching all the other animals enjoy themselves. The bunny didn't spend too long that way before he bolted out the door. I was waiting for him outside. He tried to say something that was barely audible through his bunny helmet. Realizing this, he pulled it off and repeated himself. "This was a horrible idea." "Whoa," I told him. "You simply asked me where you can mingle with other people and not have to talk and possibly blend in with everyone." "Yeah," he took a deep breath. "It figures. Even under those conditions, I would still remain..." He didn't need to finish. I knew his mind and the words he didn't want to say. Unnoticed, ignored, overlooked, and invisible. It wasn't that Harvey was a bad-looking guy. He just wasn't good-looking either. That was half of his problem. Being average height, average build, with medium-length brown hair, barely mussed despite it being confined under a bunny helmet for over a half hour, and dull brown eyes. He was too average. The other half was his sense of style. I would say that it was as if his mother dressed him, but she actually knew how to dress. Not that she would have shared the secret with him, even if she was alive today. Being average height, average build, with medium-length brown hair, barely mussed despite it being confined under a bunny helmet for over a half hour, and dull brown eyes. He was too average. The other half was his sense of style. I would say that it was as if his mother dressed him, but she actually knew how to dress. Not that she would have shared the secret with him, even if she was alive today. It was a sad truth that the bunny suit was the most happening thing he had ever worn. He sat down on the curb that separated the convention center sidewalk from its vast parking lot. Setting the ridiculous helmet beside him, he went to zip at the back of his suit like a virgin trying to unhook a bra strap. "So," he asked, "did you want to, go to the bar or something?" "You know that isn't a good idea," I told him. Yeah. Irritation that crept into his voice came from both the topic and the fact that his zipper wasn't budging. It looks weird us hanging out in public, especially if you can't get off that ridiculous suit. My lips curled into an imitation of James Dean. Despite me recently upgrading my appearance from bad boy in a leather jacket and jeans to being a suit-wearing, fast-talking lady killer. He shot me his best death glare, which only made him look like a sad bulldog. "I can't get this damn thing off. Come and help me." Really? I couldn't believe he had the gall to ask that of me. "No, take responsibility for your own mistakes." But this was your idea." The stutter he had all those years ago, when I first became his first and only friend, came out when confronted with the unpleasant truth. "No, you asked me a particular set of questions in order to get the only answer you knew I could possibly give you. You did that, just so if it didn't turn out the way you wanted it to, you would have someone to blame. when it didn't go the way you liked it. His stuttering increased, with him doubling or tripling at least one letter in each syllable as he uttered a barely incomprehensible denial to the claim. Isn't it? I questioned him, knowing I wouldn't get an answer. Sometimes I wonder. I stopped there. I could see him shaking, rocking back and forth, with his white fur-covered arms clenched tight across his chest. I've seen him do this many times before, mostly on the few occasions that his mother came home and simply ignored him, dropping him off just enough food to survive and only to do a little laundry sometimes and to clean herself up. Sometimes to check the voicemail, sometimes to sleep, sometimes to eat, but never to talk or give affection to her son. It was the beginning of a nervous breakdown. These breakdowns were so fierce, the pain was so great, that even I couldn't get through to him when he was like this. I needed to get through to him. But as much as it pained me to say, I couldn't. It would have to be someone else. I should go now. The statement got the attention of his eyes, which was good as a sign as any, even if it didn't stop him from rocking. I hope you have a good night, Henry. Shortly after I left, Henry managed to get a hold of himself. On a pair of legs more shaky than a girl anticipating her first kiss, he searched the sea of cars for his dirty gray neon, without any great desire to drive it. After about a half an hour, he found it sitting there, like a small ghost tucked under the pale moonlight of a quarter crescent moon. Out of habit, his right hand went for the pocket that held his keys, only to be blocked by the barrier of white fur. Thankfully, he wasn't a total idiot. He reached under his collar and pulled a string that had been hanging from his neck for most of the night. The pouch at the end of it held a couple of things he felt he would need during the event, including his keys. As he pulled the patch out, something from inside of it came out of the top and rolled under the car. Darn it, was the closest to cussing that he would ever utter, and carefully he got down to his knees in an attempt to retrieve the small object. The combination of the car's low ground clearance and the extra bulk of the bunny's suit added to his arms, making it impossible for him to locate the particular item. With each passing minute that his search went unsuccessful, his anxiety grew, until a voice from above said, "Can I help you, Mr. White Rabbit?" That unexpected voice, despite how sweet it sounded, caused the dope to jump, and with his arms practically trapped under the car, he went up a couple centimeters before catapulting into the asphalt. The owner of the voice rushed quickly to his side, putting one petite black, lace-clad hand onto his shoulder. "I am so sorry to startle you. It is not your fault." A second similar covered hand helped him off the asphalt, and the first thing he sees of her is glossy pink lips with a faint smell of strawberries, trying to hold back a smile. Instead of going speechless and staring at her, as he normally would do, he turns his attention back to the underside of the car and tells her, "I lost something very important under my car." Then he kneels there, staring at the underside of the car, like a cat wary about pouncing on a mouse. It wasn't until she suggested, "I have small arms. I could probably find whatever you're looking for." With that, his worried expression vanished, and he finally looked at her. She was a contrast in beauty. Pale white skin and bleached blonde hair that's length was only there to create a triangle whose particular point partially covered a dark emerald eyes, framed by dark lashes and unbleached eyebrows that matched her gloves, frilly knee-length dress that led down to dark black stockings that only showed for an inch or two before almost thigh-high leather covered them up. She also had a hat, which was so small, its only purpose could have been decorative, along with a matching undersized laced umbrella that would have had trouble keeping out the sunlight, much less any rain tucked into well, you get the point. "Could you?" he said in a wide-eyed wonder. "I would do anything for you, if you could just retrieve it for me." Without a word, she put down that absurdly small purse down on top of the blacktop. He watched, not even reacting when she braced her body on his bent knee, with a sick amount of hope that she swooped down and searched underneath the car. Soon she came out with the prize. It was a small silver ring. "Thank you, and thank you." He said it like a prayer, gently clasping his hands around the one that had retrieved the retrieved ring. He let out a sigh of premature relief and let his head hang down by several degrees. "So, the thing you would do for me? You said anything, right?" He raised his eyes to meet hers. "Huh? Yeah. Be my servant." "What?" She used his surprise to easily remove the hand holding the ring from out of his and down into the crevice of her small but well-hidden cleavage. "The ring. What are you doing?" "For safekeeping. Don't worry. I will return it to you after you have lived up to your side of our agreement." "You can't possibly be serious." "Oh, I can't? Don't worry. I'm a fair master. But I don't care too much for that title. You may address me as your queen." "My queen?" "Yes, I like that title. And you can be... Night doesn't quite fit." She thought for a moment, and when it came to her, a small smile formed on those pink lips. "Squire White Rabbit. This is, he muttered, trying to make sense of it all. "Wonderful." She lets out a girlish giggle. "I am your queen, Squire White Rabbit, Queen Alexis, and my first command is you to take me to Fantasyland." This wasn't the one